Year as owner of one of the premier NASCAR racing teams, I could almost taste our first Winston Cup championship. Joe Gibbs Racing had grown to nearly 150 employees, including my two sons, JD and Coy. We all wanted this one badly. Bobby Labonte had grown up a Dallas Cowboy fan. I hated the Washington Redskins, Bobby once admitted to me. No matter, today Bobby and I were on the same team. He was my quarterback for the Interstate Batteries number 18 team. Jimmy Makar, our crew chief, was the coach who called the shots. Tony Stewart drove the Home Depot number 20 car, while Greg Zippadelli was the team's crew chief. When I coached the Redskins, I designed the offense and helped call the plays, so I could control the football team's destiny to some extent and help make it happen. Not so in racing. On our race team, Jimmy and Greg are the technical guys. They're the ones who make the tough decisions. Bobby and Tony drive the cars, and my job as the owner, well, truthfully, my job was just to let the guys do their jobs while I stayed out of the way. As the owner, my main function is to pace and worry. What a job description. During the pre-race interviews that morning, Bobby and Tony joked and laughed casually with the press. One reporter asked Bobby, "How'd you sleep last night?" "Best night of sleep I've had the whole time since I've been down here," Bobby replied. Another reporter piped up, "What was your first thought when you woke up this morning?" "I've got to go to the bathroom," Bobby deadpanned. He was obviously going to enjoy this day. Bobby had been here before. His older brother, Terry Labonte, had won the Winston Cup title in '84 and '96. And Bobby himself had finished second in the championship points race in 1999. He wasn't about to let the pressure get to him. Although the Sunday race was not scheduled to begin until 1 o'clock, the flurry of activity had begun early for all of us. Dressed in my usual race day garb, a white shirt sporting the Interstate Batteries and Home Depot logos, black slacks, and black running shoes, I'd flown in to join Bobby and Tony in visiting the hospitality tents, the areas in which our corporate sponsors entertain their clients before, during, and after the race. The drivers had went from group to group. Bobby went to visit the number 18 sponsors, Tony to meet the number 20 sponsors, and I do both. Meeting and greeting tons of people, many of whom were avid race fans, and many others who knew me from my 28 years as a football coach. Bobby, Tony, and I shook hands with fans, posed for pictures, and signed autographs for several hours, right up until it was time for the drivers to get ready for the race. Although Bobby and Tony have risen to what could be equated with superstar status in other sports, they remained extremely accessible to the NASCAR fans. Finally, just before race time, I returned to our transporters, the 18-wheeler in which our race cars are hauled to the track. Parked in the NASCAR garage area, the transporters carry everything from spare lug nuts and an extra engine to a complete backup car. The transporters also serve as our portable offices at the track. I picked up my headset and headed for the pits, pressed by a lot of reporters and fans each step of the way. It was a chaotic scene. Pit crew members from various teams dressed in brightly colored uniforms decked out with wide variety of corporate logos. McDonald's, Tide, Coca-Cola, etc. scurried in every direction. Curious fans sporting the credentials which gave them backstage access to the pit and garage areas watched for any glimpse of their heroes. The crowd, a strange mix of corporate executives, ruddy mechanics, immaculately dressed women, and the jeans and t-shirt crowd, all surged harmoniously along. A young woman bearing a sign NASCAR Garage Tour led a group of Japanese fans through the garage area, while a translator conveyed her words to the tour members listening on headsets. A sea of faces blurred in front of me as I passed by, many people calling out words of encouragement and reporters pelting me with last-minute queries. I tried my best to answer reporters' questions as we moved through the crowd. When asked how I was doing, I told them the truth. I'm nervous, just as I experienced so many times on a football field. I had an anxious excitement in anticipation of the race. I felt sure that this was going to be a big day for both our race teams. With all but 2 of our 34 races already run, Bobby had won 4 times during the 2000 season. He had accumulated 4,505 points, leading the hard-charging, always competitive Dale Earnhardt by a mere 218 points. The Intimidator, as Dale was known by legions of fans, was pursuing his 8th NASCAR championship with a passion. Jeff Burton trailed right behind him, and Dale Jarrett stood just 356 points shy of first place. The Winston Cup point system looks complicated, but it's really quite simple. The winner of a race receives 175 points. Second place gets 170. And the points awarded drop 5 per position until 7th place, where the points drop 4 per spot